More than 2,500 years ago, long before great empires ruled the Indian subcontinent, the land of northern India was going through a powerful transformation. The Aryans had already settled in the fertile plains of the Ganga. For generations, people lived in small tribal groups known as Janapadas. These were simple settlements led by chiefs, where society was mostly rural and life revolved around cattle, farming, and rituals. But history never remains the same. Slowly, everything began to change. Iron tools were introduced, and with them came a revolution. Forests were cleared more quickly than ever before. New agricultural lands were opened. Farmers began producing more food than they needed. And when food production increases, population grows. When population grows, villages turn into towns. When towns grow, power begins to concentrate. Wealth increases. Trade expands. And small tribal territories begin to transform into organized states. By around 600 BCE, northern India was no longer just a land of scattered tribes. It had become a region of powerful kingdoms. 16 large states emerged, known collectively as the Mahajanapadas, meaning great territories. These states stretched across the Indo-Gangetic plains, one of the most fertile regions in the world. Rivers like the Ganga and Yamuna supported agriculture and trade, helping cities to flourish. Some of these Mahajanapadas were ruled by kings. In these monarchies, the king collected taxes, maintained armies, enforced laws, and expanded his territory through warfare. Fortified cities were built with protective walls. Armies were trained and organized. Government officials were appointed to manage revenue and administration. This was no longer tribal leadership. This was structured state governance. But something remarkable was also happening. Not all Mahajanapadas were monarchies. Some were republics, governed not by a single king but by assemblies of elders or warriors. Decisions were discussed and debated. Leaders were chosen rather than born into power. This shows that even in ancient times, ideas of collective governance existed. It was an advanced political development for its era. As these states competed with one another, economic life grew more complex. Trade routes connected distant regions. Craftsmen produced goods in growing cities. Merchants became wealthy. For the first time, coins were used in several regions to make trade easier. Urban centers became hubs of political power and economic activity. Historians often call this period the second urbanization of ancient India because cities once again became central to civilization. Among all 16 Mahajanapadas, one kingdom gradually rose above the rest, Magadha. Located in the eastern part of the Ganga Plains, Magadha had several natural advantages. Its soil was fertile, producing abundant crops. It had access to rich iron deposits, allowing it to manufacture strong weapons and tools. Rivers provided natural defense and efficient transportation. Most importantly, it had ambitious and capable rulers who understood the importance of expansion and military strength. Magadha slowly began conquering neighboring states. Through war and diplomacy, it absorbed smaller Mahajanapadas. One by one, rivals fell. Its power grew steadily, and it became the most dominant state of the age. From this strong foundation would later rise the great Mauryan Empire, founded by Chandragupta Maurya and later expanded magnificently under Ashoka the Great. But before that empire unified large parts of the subcontinent, the groundwork was laid during the Mahajanapada period. This era was not only politically transformative, it was spiritually revolutionary as well. Society had become more structured and complex. Many people began questioning rigid rituals and social divisions. During the same period, two great spiritual leaders appeared, Gautama Buddha and Mahavira. They preached simplicity, moral discipline, and non-violence. Their teachings spread widely across the Mahajanapadas, influencing both common people and rulers. New religious movements reshaped spiritual life in the region. Meanwhile, warfare among the states remained frequent. Every kingdom desired more land, more resources, and more trade routes. Armies grew stronger. Fortifications became more advanced. Political alliances were formed and broken. In this constant struggle for supremacy, weaker states gradually disappeared. By around 300 BCE, most Mahajanapadas had either been conquered or merged into larger powers. The age of the Mahajanapadas slowly came to an end, but its impact was permanent. It marked the transition from tribal society to organized state systems. It saw the rise of cities, structured administration, standing armies, taxation systems, and long-distance trade. It witnessed the birth of powerful religious philosophies that would influence Asia for centuries, and it laid the foundation for one of the greatest empires in ancient history. The Mahajanapadas were more than just 16 kingdoms. They were the bridge between early Vedic society and imperial India. They were the turning point when small settlements became powerful states, and when the political landscape of the subcontinent was forever transformed.